Our heroes have found all that was needed and found out some other interesting information about Elspeth and about what's been happening with Ragnarock, which they need to go and restart. Shall we see how they do that? Rendezvous with Destiny, a Sky on Actual Play podcast. As ever, I am your GM Luce, and with me today I have...
Hello, I'm Graham. I play the character of Elspeth Lockwood, the Guardian of Balder, and I am looking forward to some Æsir feast antics. It's going to be fun, and there will be mead.
I'm Will. I play Cleo, who is a chosen of Bast, and Cleo is looking forward to some drinking games at the feast, and is wondering if Asgardians know how to play Ring of Fire.
They probably have actual fire.
Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Am, and I play Flora Watson, daughter of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, and we made it! We made it through another season, nearly. Let's see if we all die by the end of this episode.
Challenge accepted.
If all goes to plan, we did it! What are you guys, season 2? Oh man, what a wild ride! I have no idea what I'm doing.
Pretty competent this season at least looking like we know vaguely what we're doing.
The most important thing.
I think we've got...
Exactly.
Looking like you know what you're doing.
We've gotten really competent. We've gotten really competent at recording.
We've definitely done that.
Like, we're smashing these out. Better. There's no... Yeah, I think the dynamic, both between us getting used to this format, between our girls, has been awesome. I think we've encountered, God willing, hope this doesn't jinx it, touch wood, minimal technical issues.
God's willing, I think that would be.
As compared to the first season.
That one episode, I think, almost killed me.
Yeah.
You mean the one where I had to re-record 50 minutes of my own dialogue based on the context clues of what you were all talking about? Do you mean that one?
I mean the one where we had to re-record the same bit 3 times.
That was the same.
That was the same episode.
That was the same episode. That was the same episode.
Wow, I didn't realise.
I went through all that, and then the next day I sat down and had just straight up lost half of my footage.
I knew you'd done that, but I didn't realise it was that episode.
That actually does give me confidence, because loads of people, when I tell them, never guess it was that episode.
Which episode do they think it was?
That either gives you confidence, or the absolute opposite, that they think another episode was that.
It must be that terrible one.
Yeah. You tell someone about it and you get them to guess which one, and they just guess every other episode, and you're like, no.
The bar is so low.
What have been your highlights of this season so far? I want to hear Luce's first, because they're the big cheese. I want them to tell us what you did good.
Wherever my brain came up with that weird goat spider hybrid thing.
I love the goat. Yeah.
We love goat spider hybrid, but I don't know where that came from, but it was a lot of fun.
It was great.
Also just Loki being Loki.
I feel like Luce is every DM has an NPC who's their self-insert for the campaign, and Luce's is just definitely Loki.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
What's your favourite Am? Because I know you'll ask everyone else, and then you'll complain that we don't
pretend
ask
that
you.
no one asked her.
It's not a moment specifically, but the dynamic between the girls is just so choice. It's really good. I talked to Will about this a lot, and I think my favourite is the kind of sibling dynamic that's evolved, with Cleo as the eldest, Elspeth as the middle child, and Flora as the little sister.
That's pretty much it.
It's really good. Yeah. In that, they all
cute.
kind of care about each other in very, very differently expressed ways.
But it's also funny to me that if Cleo is the eldest, Cleo always strikes me as the least responsible, but quietly so you don't know what she's doing, but it's something weird.
Yeah. She's like, I won't take care of myself, but I'm going to take care of all of you.
But also I'm going to do some crime in the background.
Thank you so much for asking me, Will. What's your favourite moment?
Horrible. I'm trying to remember the dividing line between the two seasons. I enjoyed the bit where we were on like Ra's sunboat and everyone was progressively jumping
Oh,
off.
that was a good.
I feel like that was a good way of depicting everyone's characters.
Yeah, you're so right.
My favourite Cleo bit was her trying to describe a library. If someone was interested in books and such,
That was very good.
reading,
Words. How do they work?
They're a thing. Yes.
I've heard of them. It happened to other people usually.
and last but certainly not least, Graham.
I think my favourite bit was going through the tunnels and up to the vault underneath Asgard. I think we hit like a good rhythm of party dynamic. And also I liked the general idea of it.
It was a really cool idea. I'm so happy.
I had a good image of like the door at the end and stuff like that. And
I can't believe we got to do a dungeon. I'm so happy. I love dungeon crawls.
That's why I put it in. Because you normally like dungeons. Oh, that's a D&D thing. I was like, no, I will put a dungeon in this.
We will have dungeons and maybe dragons.
Well,
I'm still waiting for the dragon.
dragons very mythological beings, so they may or may not be dragons.
Could you be a scion of a dragon?
Theoretically, yes.
If it was like a famous one.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
are there any famous
Fafnir or something.
dragons?
Yeah.
Like,
Nidhogg,
that would be a bad
maybe.
one to be a scion of. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be fun. Character idea.
Does anyone... I've been thinking about potential backup character ideas a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Sweats.
Me too.
But why?
I have not.
It's always
I'm
good to be
immortal.
prepared.
I know.
I have a Latvian friend who has told me, I tweeted about this as well, but he's told me at length about a character called, I believe it's Lech Placis, who is like a Latvian folk. It's basically the Latvian version of King Arthur, whose name literally just means bear slayer.
Very good.
As a metaphor for Russia, because
No.
for Latvia, obviously it's Russian invaders, not Vikings, like it was in or Saxons actually, I think it was in the Arthurian legend. So his name literally means bear slayer, obviously the bear being the symbol of Russia. So he's quite a fun story.
So would you be like Eastern European Fred? If it's a King Arthur analog. You guys are just getting like the Spider-Man meme, but one of you's got like a bear pelt.
So...
I love how Fred originally was just like a horrible little man. And I love how you guys just like adopt him, like we will make him better.
He's our
He's
son
improved.
now.
He's still learning. He's still learning.
He's still an idiot.
He's
It's
still
fine.
he will never not be a complete idiot. That man has no brain cells.
We should leave him
It's gonna be
alone
extra
with
fun.
some Valkyries for like 2
Yeah.
hours and see what happens.
Leave him at the party and see what happens.
Probably something
Let him
ridiculous.
loose.
It's like
Let him
it's
start
like
the
that bit
drinking game.
in Avatar where the Kyoshi warriors teach Sokka to respect women. It's just leaving Fred alone with some Valkyries for a bit.
Trial by fire. Trial by ring of fire.
Well, let's see if Cleo can introduce university drinking games to the Asgardians.
Flora's personal mission at this party is to get Cleo and Thor in a drinking competition.
Thor literally drank most of the sea once, so that might be quite difficult.
Hey, Cleo might get blessed by Bast, you don't know.
That's true. How much can cats drink? If she like does sippy thing with her tongue, maybe she'll win.
I mean, the whole thing with Bast is just that she was very drunk and very angry for like 200 years.
I mean,
so...
aren't
been
we
there.
all?
Need
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
Shall we see how it goes?
We shall. So you guys have all changed. You've got your new fancy get-ups, barring Cleo, who is like, I will not change out of my tracksuit. So you all... What happens is, you're all still in the room, and there is a knock on the door. Door swings open, and there's a couple of guards there, and they look sort of like they're not like holding weapons at you or anything, and they just, one of them like inclines his head slightly and says, "We've been asked to escort you to the feast. Would you please come with us? We will lead you the way there. The corridors can get a little confusing for people who have not been here before."
Do we get
St.
a
Madison,
do we get
nodding
like
to himself.
a party announcement when we arrive? Like presenting blah 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 blah.
I don't think we're that important yet, Flora.
I know, it's just really... I've always wanted it to happen.
Confused. No, you just go. You have seats. We're taking you there.
Oh, okay. That's cool too, I guess. Come on, guys.
Do you want a party announcement? We could be like, this is the guards.
I will also now when we are escorted there, I will no longer be able to get lost. I'm just building a mental map.
Is that one of your things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cleo's just got has pretty much by the end of you're gonna have a mental map of Asgard by the end of this. Do with that what you will.
I rationalise it as like the Cleo as like the thing where like a drunk person can always find their way home.
That's really
that sort of
good,
thing.
like flavour. That's delicious flavour.
Because I'm sure all of us, right, have been in an absolute state and have somehow made it home, and you've got no idea how. Looking back at it,
yeah,
the
I
next
mean,
day.
given where we lived in third year, typically it was because one of you 3 was with me.
Yeah, because we took you home.
Yeah. Now, I was talking about a pub crawl I did earlier in the year, and this was when I got very drunk and sent you all selfies in the group
Very
chat.
Cute.
Where literally I walked to the tube station, took a tube with 2 changes, found my train, got on the train.
That's
like,
impressive.
All of this while
I picked him
very
up from
drunk.
the station. He
Yeah.
couldn't eat a cheese toasty. That's how drunk he was.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Yes, that's very drunk.
Yeah. It was fun. And then the next day I was just totally incapable.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
I had to go to work. It was very funny.
Some of my best moments at uni is when I would just leave and not tell anyone.
They did this all the time.
Constantly.
Yeah.
All the time.
Very regularly.
And
You look around and be like, where are they?
They have gone. Where have they gone? Oh no. And then like half an hour later, they're like, yeah, I'm making a cheese toasty, or I'm making a cheese and
You
bacon
send
turnover.
pictures of... Often it was the turnover. I don't know why you're obsessed with those.
They were really good.
This is my life hack though, because Luce would used to crash at mine, and I'd always feed them when we go back to mine. So therefore, I would never lose them because they had the promise of a meal.
I think at that point we were sort of like feeding each other because we were both incredibly drunk.
Yeah, it was so fun. I miss living within 10 minutes of all of you.
I miss not having any responsibilities.
Speaking of, let's get
Speaking
back to
of no
our
responsibilities,
podcast, which we are
let's go
responsible
do
for.
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are currently still recording, by the way, for the
Sorry,
last
we
5
got
minutes.
distracted.
Go. So you are led into this hall. It's kind of ridiculously large. You know when you enter into a cathedral, it's that kind of size, but without any of the stuff in it, really. Without cathedral stuff in it. So that, you know, huge, really, really high vaulted ceilings, stretching on forever, like really, really big room. And there's these 2, it's almost like a U shape of tables. So on this level, it's like a big U shape of tables that people are sitting on, and then at the other end of the hall, there's a slightly raised bit up a couple of steps, and there's another long table on there that's facing into the rest of the hall.
Okay.
So it's like, and you can see that sat at that table, you can see Odin and Thor and Frigg, that sort of thing, and then there's just loads of people everywhere else, and you guys are led up to the top table and sat
So exciting.
like on one sat on like one end of it. So you've got Odin in the middle, Frigg on his sitting next to his left, Thor on his right, Baldur's there, Tyr's there, a couple of other people. Then you guys are all sat together around one end. Loki deliberately sits with you guys, but you can see there is an empty chair next to Frigg that you think might be theirs, but they deliberately sit with you guys. You're sat on basically the edge of it, in a way.
Yeah.
Like round the corner.
Yeah, essentially. Round
It's
the
like
corner
the kids' table section at a wedding, but we're related to the bride and groom.
That is a good way of putting it.
Like we're on the sort of the main part of the U, which is good, but we're at the end of it, which is bad.
Yeah. It's like you're
We're
here
important,
only
but we're not
out of
cool.
politeness.
Yeah.
Not quite.
You can see what's happening. but we're
So
not part
is
of it.
everyone sitting down and drinking, or is there like a space in the floor for like standing and socializing and fighting and dancing and stuff?
Oh, there's a
Are there
big
snacks?
there's so much food. Like a ridiculous amount of food, and there's a big empty space in the middle. I'm sending a photo now.
Amazing. Is it again like kind of a wedding scenario where there are meals at your plate, but you can kind of also just wander around and pick?
There are people wandering around. There's just like food everywhere.
Brilliant.
Essentially. There's food in front of you. There's like, you each have like a big plate in front of you, and then there's like platters on the tables of various, like, maybe something that looks like it could be a full boar, but it's a lot bigger than a boar. There's just there's the animals you've never seen before, there's animals you have seen before, there's some vegetables, there's lots of potatoes, not much greenery.
Is Elspeth, because I know it was kind of up in the air last we spoke about food, Graham, you were undecided if Elspeth was canonically vegetarian or not.
I think she is.
How's she doing?
Good luck.
She's fine.
Okay, good.
She's just looking around like, I can eat one of these things. There's some bread in the corner.
There's some
She's
bread,
like, yes.
there's some potatoes. There is some vegetables, but
They've
not
all got meat in them.
a lot.
They're all meat adjacent vegetables.
There's some cabbage.
Cleo,
Yo,
you want to help me get the party started?
what did you have in mind?
Oh, I was thinking earth drinking games, maybe a little challenge between you and the big man. I could put some money on it.
I don't think you want to do that, like...
Boo. Fine.
I mean, in her defense, Flora didn't suggest she was going to put money on you.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know what odds you're gonna get otherwise.
You
I
know
feel like
what?
they would be
That's
low.
entirely
Yeah.
fair. I mean, Elspeth, you know, and Loki, I guess you guys know these people. Who can we rope into some good old Earth fun?
I mean, actually, Thor probably is your best bet.
Literally anyone. I'd give it maybe a half an hour. This place will be absolute carnage, and then you can do pretty much whatever you want then.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. I guess polite conversation for now then.
Are you sure you're going to be okay?
Oh, is there like a drinks table anywhere with like loads of booze on it?
There's like pitchers all around there's like big pitchers of various different coloured liquids on the table at various points.
Okay, well, I can use something actually,
Oh.
because I have
Oh,
a boon somewhere, or a knack. Where is it? There's I don't know the difference. Flipping through my notebook. Oh, Luce, your diagram is sending.
Yes, it's just arrived.
So it's two U shapes.
Is somewhere.
Essentially.
Okay, so I have a boon, I think, called Celestial Promotion, which means if I use a legend point, which I do have left over, I can name myself or someone else something and it becomes true. And Flora's celestial title is the Great Mixer of Drinks.
Yes.
So I'm gonna start just like experimenting with all the booze and just making some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Very good.
You've never tasted any of these things before. You know, you sniff them, like you start mixing them together. Oh, you're making, like, this is the first time, like, you're making fantastic cocktails here out of various different meads and
What I
hard
want to
spirits.
do is basically set up our end table to be like a little bar.
Very cute.
Which is just her coping mechanism, as if she feels uncomfortable in an environment. She's like, okay, I'm the bartender now.
Yeah, like, at the beginning, like, Balder sees what you're doing, like, and, like, wanders over, and, like, he puts a hand on your shoulder, Elspeth.
Oh, hello. Tall.
How are you doing?
A little bit overwhelmed, actually.
I can see that.
How are you doing?
I'm very well. How's your mother?
She's fine. She's busy. But I don't know. We had a bit of a chaotic dinner party where this one turned up with a gesture at Loki.
Okay.
And then
Waves. From what they've told you, obviously the mistletoe thing hasn't happened in this version. But they're looking a little awkward around Balder.
Well, they know, I suppose.
Yeah, they know that. They've done it possibly multiple times.
Whoopsie!
They're just like, hi.
You two, I assume, know each other pretty well. All friends.
Old friends. Yeah. Yes, that's yeah. Loki. The more you get to know Loki, the more that you realize they're a ball of anxiety. And Balder just like grins quite happily. He's like, yes, it's been a very long time, old friend. You haven't been around for a while. And they're just like nodding. We should probably have a chat at some point.
Yeah, I was wondering actually if I could ask you about magic and how to use it. Because I feel like, I don't know, maybe that's a thing I can do or not. I'm not sure. And you might know because I don't know, you are a magic person.
We'll definitely have a chat. Probably not tonight. Magic, I won't be very good at it. Soon.
Oh, you have plans?
It's a feast.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But anyway, I couldn't help but notice. Balder at this point turns to you, Flora.
Oh God.
What is going on here? This looks very interesting.
Oh, well,
It's working.
by trade, I make drinks for people and help them with their problems by listening. And I kind of feel a little bit out of place here, so I thought I would just do that. Is that okay? Do you want a drink?
Yes, this smells fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm gonna start making him a cocktail.
Nice.
What are you gonna make?
Can you
For...
roll me a D100?
Oh God. Okay.
Oh,
That's
no.
not what that was out of the
Wild
blue.
magic cocktails.
Oh, this is very cool. Actually, I'll use 2 of the same die. That is a 97.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Is that a good or a bad? I can't tell.
For an Asgardian feast, very good. You sort of have some of these various different pictures. You don't know what is in any of them. You're just making this up as you go along.
Yeah.
By you're like, that smells good. That smells like that would mix well with that. So you're mixing. This drink you've created looks really nice. It's almost like, you know, like how tequila sunrise is ombre.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Very
that
good.
kind of ombre
Same
effect
wavelength.
in this drink. Balder sniffs it, has a little sip, nods, downs the entire thing.
Strong.
It's like, that is fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much.
He's still sort of has his hand on your shoulder, and he's sort of leaning on the back of your chair a bit. That's what he's noticed. He's sort of leaning heavily, more and more. He seems to be now using the chair a little bit to keep him upright.
Yeah.
And he just sort of waves the hand and just yells, "Thor, come over here!" And Thor looks at Balder like, "You're not normally like this. What's going on?" Comes on over, and he's just like, "Try this. Can you make another one?"
I would like to make something that, like, the mead equivalent of a Long Island iced tea. I want to make the most lethal drink I possibly can.
Roll me a D100.
Okay. I got a
Long
20,
iced mead.
26.
Okay. Thor drinks
Hit
it.
the other end of the
It's like,
spectrum.
tastes really nice. How'd you make this? But you think it's not having that much of an effect?
Oh, bummer. I kind of shrug. I'm like, I don't know. It just feels right.
Very good. Very good indeed. What ends up happening is loads of people, like, they keep on yelling for other people to come and join, essentially. So, a little way in, you've just got like a cluster of like Asgardian Æsir warriors. And Valkyrie is like just standing around you drinking your drinks.
Very good.
Roll me one more D100, please.
Okay.
And I will add some fun things.
That's
to it.
a 53.
A 53, okay.
Nice.
Let me
I'll run supplies backwards and
roll
forwards from the
well.
like drinks table for you.
Or just don't, because that would be funny.
Yeah, you don't know how you've made some pretty lethal cocktails.
Oh, very
here.
good.
And this end of the table is steadily getting louder and louder and more drunk. And people are sort of very much... Some people have like dragged chairs around you guys over, and people are like leaning on them and sort of struggling to stand up. Are you going to drink any of these?
Absolutely not. And can I use one of my knacks?
Yeah.
Which is good listener. Which is when I make casual conversation with an NPC, the character reveals relevant information, and I don't have to roll.
Nice.
Ooh. Yes, that can definitely happen. Let me have a think about what you're going to hear, and I will let you know.
I'm giving drinks to Elspeth and Cleo as well, by the way.
Yeah. Are you guys going to drink them?
Yeah.
I sip. I take a sip.
If you take a sip, can you both roll me?
I want the sunrise one.
You got it.
The one that was 94?
Yes.
Okay.
It
No,
was
wait.
97, actually.
Yeah.
97.
Hold up.
Can you roll me? Resolve? Survival.
Okay, yeah. Survival.
Okay, I've got some resolve. And I've got some survival. So yeah, you know.
I have no survival.
Accidental
Like, not at all.
TPK.
But I only rolled one success.
Three
so...
successes.
Elspeth passes
Oh
out.
boy.
Elspeth is down.
I need to sit down.
Elspeth, like, you're not immediately blackout drunk. But, oof, it hits you quite quickly. Like, this thing is incredibly strong.
Flora, what is in this stuff? Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna sit next to you and I'm gonna help
Okay.
do things. Starts trying to mix drinks, but really badly.
You're just like slightly, you know that when you hit that point at a house party where you're too drunk to really do anything?
Yeah. I keep trying to pour things into different containers that I think are helpful, but I keep missing the containers half the time.
I'm just looking at Flora like, are you seeing this?
Seeing what?
You're feeling a little tipsy, but you're sort of fine, Cleo. Like,
Yeah.
you felt it hit you, but you're used to drinking quite ridiculous amounts of alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah, just pointing at how drunk Elspeth is.
I give Elspeth a little pat on the head and a plate of bread.
Hello.
You're giving one to Fred?
No, I'm giving Elspeth a plate of bread. I'll give a cocktail to Fred,
Oh, a
absolutely.
plate of bread.
Like, you gotta carb up, girl.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll for Fred.
Thank you. This is good bread. You know, this is really
This is just
good
drunk.
bread.
This is just drunk Graham.
We should have bread
Yeah.
more often, guys.
We should. Bread is.
Oh my god. Fred passes out. I didn't. On 7 dice, I didn't roll a single success.
I'm
Fred.
gonna nudge
Sick.
Cleo and be like, "Hey, can you recovery position, please?"
Yeah. Are there like...
But you do notice some of the Asgardians have started to. Not all of them, but some of them have passed out as well. Fred isn't the only one.
I am
now.
the greatest bartender of all time.
You do notice that, Cleo, some of them are now looking at you like. Because some of them are sort of fine, some of them were quite drunk, and they're like, how is mortal better than some of us?
I mean, to be fair,
Essentially.
Cleo
Not better,
Cleo
but
had like a slug of it, not like a glassful, you know?
Yeah, but it's because it's very much god juice.
Yeah.
Is the party starting to get a bit rowdy?
Oh, the party's getting very rowdy, and so the food starts getting taken away at this
No,
point.
my bread.
And Odin,
Can I?
you
Thank
get to
you.
keep your bread.
Can I climb up on the table?
Oh no. Oh no.
Just as you're about to do so, Odin stands
Oh,
up.
bummer. I sit back down.
Odin stands up, and he has like a drinking horn, and it's a ridiculously large drinking horn. Like his hand doesn't like his hand is kind of going around half of it, and he's holding it up. And it's beautiful. It's like horn, like the filigree silver and gold and gems. It's one of the most expensive looking things you've ever seen in your life, essentially. And so Odin stands up and he sort of yells out with booming voice across the hall. everybody, listen. And it's also like, it's been quite rowdy. There's people drinking. There seems to be a couple of like drinking competitions going on. There's a bit of wrestling. Everyone stops what they're doing and looks at Odin. Bearing in mind, some of them, who, even the ones who are wrestling, are just like both on the floor and looking
Very
up
good.
at Odin.
Very good.
And he's just like, we feast tonight in honour of new friends. And he sort of gestures to the pile of completely very, very drunken Asgardians with some mortals at one end of the table. To new friends and to old. And he sort of raises his horn to you and downs the entire thing. And then just yells, now, party!
Yeah!
Hey gang, it's Am again with another promo for you. This is for our sister podcast, Deck of Many Aces, which I'm also a cast member on. They are a D&D 5e actual play podcast, and every character has a card from the Deck of Many Things representing their past, present, and future. And their trailer will be shortly following, but if you like them or want to engage with their content, then you should go follow them. They're available on Acast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. They're also available on Twitter and Instagram at Deck of Many Aces. Enjoy!
The tide draws in on a beach at dusk. In the rust-coloured cliff face, an opening appears, lined with jagged pink crystals. A tabaxi stumbles through this opening, falling to her knees, staining the sand red with blood. In the rambling city of Atherdale, a Loxodon plays chess. She has yet to find a worthy opponent, so plays against herself. As she is about to knock the king down, a tremor shakes the earth, and the pieces are strewn across the floor. A creature that is not quite a dryad wakes in a sleepy desert town. They find it deserted, and almost trip over the remains of two bodies, their faces scarred beyond recognition, a pale shard of quartz grasped in both hands. Nestled between ancient dormitories and shiny new builds, a tiefling researches by candlelight. The object of her focus? A wilted larkspur. Effortfully, the flowers revive, not reborn, but reversed, the blooms pulling life back from the hands of time.
And then there's these like fiddlers going on in the background with like some quite jaunty music. There's some dancing starts happening. People are jumping up on the tables, people are like downing drinking horns. More and more people are joining in on this wrestling thing that's going on. There's big like wolfhoundy kind of dogs around as well. Some of them are getting involved in the wrestling. Some of them are like, there's still little bits of food left on some of the tables. Most of it's been taken away, but like you see one takes an entire leg of something and takes it under the table and is just eating it.
I want to stay here forever.
It's a good place, isn't it?
I'm gonna go dance. Is that okay? Can I go dance? She kind of looks at Loki like, do we need to leave now? Can I?
You see, Loki is reclining across the chair they're sitting in, with like a tankard of something, and is drinking it. And they just look at you and go like, "Do what you want."
Yeah, Flora's just like on the dance floor immediately.
Loki looks at their drink, looks at Manison.
Oh.
Looks at their drink again.
Oh.
Looks at Manison. Downs their drink. stands up, pulls Madison onto the dance floor.
Yay!
So, Elspeth and Cleo, what are you guys doing?
Cleo is just gonna be like eating and drinking some like non-insane cocktails and just keeping a bit of an eye on Elspeth and also Fred.
Elspeth is gonna stand up, very wobbly, lean on the back of the chair.
Yes.
Then weave her way towards one of the tables with the mead on, and get just a small drink of mead. And then go back and sit down again. Like, whew. So.
Okay. Can you roll me, please?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Composure, survival.
I can do that. Composure this time. Interesting.
Yeah.
2 successes.
Don't know what it is, but the mead seems to have woken you up a bit more.
Oh.
Caffeine.
You're less like, oh, and you're now like, you're still very drunk, but you're now like, oh yeah, no, the music started, yeah, you're gonna have fun kind of thing rather than I'm food and sleep now.
Hey, Cleo.
Yo.
Do you want to go join in some of the party? Like, I don't know which bit.
Are you good?
At what?
Okay. I'm just gonna do the thing that you do with like when someone's a bit drunk but they're probably okay, where you just hold up a few fingers and ask them to count. Like, okay, how many fingers am I holding up? And it's 2.
2. But in which timeline?
Okay. Yeah, you're still annoying. You're fine. Okay.
Annoying.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So the options are wrestling, or
Wrestling,
dancing, or
dancing,
whatever's happening over there,
drinking.
or drinking. Or drinking, I think you can do at the same time as the other things.
This is true. There's drinking competitions. There's also there's these wolfhoundy looking
Cleo,
things around.
we should go to that table over there, and you should join the drinking competition, and I'll hang out with the dog.
Yeah, good plan. So I'm gonna like do like a dog whistle for one of the wolfhounds because I'm good with animals.
Okay, yeah. You will have to give me a roll, but I'll say yeah. Roll me presence leadership, and you have it's good with animals a thing you have.
No, it's not a thing that I have. I just like animals. Because she does veterinary studies.
I personally like
She's
animals.
a veterinary student.
It's just presence leadership.
Okay. That will be 2 successes.
Yeah, one of these dogs sort of looks around your whistle and trots on over. You think it might be quite like a young one because it's still got the really big, still a big dog, but it's still got really, really big paws.
Yeah.
The thing was like looking slightly in that long-limbed stage that almost fully grown, like when they're still puppies but they're almost fully grown.
Yeah.
And it sort of trots on over to you and sort of like puts its chin on your leg.
Okay. Hello, dog. This is my friend Elspeth.
Hello.
I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go and fight someone. I think.
I'm coming too, but with this dog. Let's go.
The dog like stands by your side and is just like, yes, new friends.
I lean on the dog for support. Very slightly.
The dog is up to your. The dog is like
I thought it'd
above
be
your
like
waist.
near my shoulder, so that works. That tracks.
Yeah.
I'm just wiping like a handful of drool, like just on my knee.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And yeah, I think I'm gonna go and try to wrestle someone.
Okay, you're joining in with the wrestling. Fun. There's a couple of different groups of wrestling. There's the big pile of up of warriors that at this point seems less fighting and more just sort of rolling around on the floor with the dogs. They seem to be having a good time.
Very
and then
good.
you can see there's some arm wrestling competitions going on as well. and it seems like someone has just challenged someone to a fight. Which one are you going towards?
Sorry. Is there anyone who looks like they are available but wants to fight?
Yeah, there's definitely some people who are doing some arm wrestling competitions. There's this really quite buff guy who just slams someone's hand down onto the table and just sort of goes, "Ha! No one can beat me." Do you want to go do some arm wrestling?
Yeah, go on. It'll be fun.
It will. If you could roll me, it's gonna be might and either athletics or close combat, up to you.
Yeah, athletics it will be. There are a lot of dice for this, but that is no guarantee of anything. Okay, and that's with carry the exploding dice and find the square root to determine 4 successes.
4 successes. Mm-hmm. Very nice.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Let's have a look. Do my roll.
Everything's gonna be just fine.
Just peachy.
Ooh!
Thievery.
You beat the goat. You beat the guy.
Yeah.
Didn't roll very well.
And I want, like, if there's anyone watching this, I want to just do, like, you know, the Predator handshake with them.
Oh yeah. No, so you go up to this guy. You're just like, you sit down, like, I'll challenge you, and he sort of looks at you and laughs. But you like slam your elbow down on the table.
Yeah.
And you just wipe this guy out.
Nice.
Yes.
You, as soon as you clasp hands, you slam his hand into the table, and everyone around him just starts howling with laughter.
Nice.
And this quite pretty woman in really nice looking armor, like proper armor, just like does that, like grips forearms with you.
Nice. Hi.
What's your name?
I'm Cleo. What's your name?
Silence from Loose.
I've got my list. I was trying to remember who it is.
It's okay. I will get rid of the silence.
Good.
Will has taken, whenever I run a game for Will, he's taken to asking me every single NPC's name just to hear me like panic for 2 seconds.
Not every single NPC,
that
but
guy,
when
Will.
I think it's an NPC that Anne won't have given a name, I'm just like, oh hi, what's your name?
I'm like, no.
I have changed who this is going to be because I think it's more fun.
Right.
So as she clasps hands with you, you notice like she's got her hair and she's wearing a helmet and it's sort of covering one side of her face.
Okay.
I'm Hell.
That's a really funny coincidence because like hell is like what we call like the bad place, you know?
That might be because of I don't know. I wouldn't call it the bad. I'm the goddess of death.
Oh, that's really cool. I like your and literally just going to like prod the mask that's covering half her face.
She's like, thanks. I tend to wear it to not freak everyone out here. She sort of lifts it slightly. And like the side that's mainly on view is really pretty. Like really, really pretty. Like model-esque cheekbones. And then she lifts like this plate of the helmet that's covering the side of her face, and it's like really gorgeous blonde hair on that side. And on the other side it's desiccated and you can see bits of the skull underneath it. You can see the teeth in this grin, and the hair is black on that half of her head. And she grins at you.
That is awesome. What happens when you drink?
She laughs, grabs a tankard and downs it, and you can see it goes through her neck, but you can see that it's not falling out, but you can see it moving through part of her neck.
That is absolutely sick. That was me nearly swearing, but I didn't. That is sick, and you've just had a drink and I haven't, so I need to get a drink now.
Yeah, so you are making some of the warriors around her are looking at her as soon as they see the face. They do like kind of, because they've all been drinking a bit. And they're just like, oh god, she's got the face up. That's scary.
Grow up, you baby.
She's like, okay, this person who has never met me thinks my face is cool. They think my face is cool. Stop the press. My face is cool now. And she seems just really happy to talk to someone who's like not scared of her.
Yeah.
So, Flora, what are you up to now?
Flora's dancing.
Still dancing away?
Yeah. She's just having the time of her life. She's trying to learn as many new dances as she can.
Nice. You're getting you're doing dancing with some of the Asgardians. It's quite it's not like a formal dance or anything. It's a bit more grab someone, throw them round, link arms, spin around a bit.
That's brilliant.
That sort of vibe of dancing.
Yeah, she's just having the best time. I think Flora is, when other people get drunk, they're finally at her level of like excitement and energy and enjoyment. Even though she isn't, and she's just having simply the best time. Dancing with people, maybe she'll just grab someone and kiss them for fun.
Oh yeah, loads of people have been doing that.
Yeah, she's just like...
I'm gonna do a roll here.
Having the best time.
See what happens. Okay. Up on the dais, Fred sort of wakes up now, does something where he's like, you know how I often fall asleep at parties?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Do that for a bit, then wake up and you're absolutely fine to go.
Yeah.
He's done that. So he gets up, he looks around, and a couple of minutes after, you're just having really fun dancing, you're spinning around, and as you spin out of someone's arms, someone else grabs you, and Fred spins you around the dance floor.
Yeah, she's just having a good time. Just dancing.
And I think that is where we will leave this episode, with you all having fun at a feast. And that is where we leave this series.
Ooh.
We did it, guys!
When we come back next time,
very fun.
It's time to start the apocalypse.
Amazing!
I, for one.
Also, because I'll definitely forget by the time we get to the next episode, Cleo's just going to point to those two and just tell Hal about the backstory, because it will be funny.
Nice.
Very good. So I believe our next time you guys hear our lovely voices, we'll be doing some spooky Call of Cthulhu times for us.
That is the plan. So stay tuned for that. And even better, the Call of Cthulhu Rendezvous with Destiny / Break from Destiny episode will be coming out on Valentine's Day. So what better way to celebrate a romantic holiday than hearing about horrifying eldritch monstrosities?
Romance.
If you don't want to miss that, you can, of course, follow us on Twitter at RWD_pod. And if you want to catch up on back episodes of the series, you can do that on Acast, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts at A Rendezvous with Destiny. And if people want to post some really cool memes and maybe tag us in them, where can they do that?
Well, they can find us on Instagram at RWD_pod, where I will be curating all the latest and greatest content for you guys. If you like my voice and you want to hear it some more, you can always go check it out at Deck of Many Aces. That's at Doma on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find us on Acast, YouTube. Oh god, Will, I can't do this.
Honestly, I'm underappreciated for being able to just do that.
All of the places that Will said where you can find
well.
RWD apart from YouTube, you can also find Doma. We hope you guys have enjoyed season 2. This was so fun to do. And given that I've named this episode the Ragnarock arc, and we're actually starting Ragnarok next season, I'm just like, what should I call the next season?
Ragnarok 2.
Does anyone have any suggestions? Ragnarok 2.
Ragnarok 2 Time Spiral.
Yeah. Well, while we think about that, I think we'll do a gentle fade out, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll
do a gentle fade out.
Just a little fade.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for playing everyone else, I've been having a great time, and thanks most of all to Luce for being a great GM.
Yes.
And making lots of people our characters want to have emotional relationships with.
I've been very nice to you.
You have. You've been too nice, and I'm expecting that to change.
I've been very
next
nice
series,
to you.
which of course you can tune in for in a couple of weeks' time.
I've just realised that because we didn't meet the big wolfy boy, this dog that I've just found is now the dog for this season.
Yes.
Is the season there's a dog in every
This material is unofficial and is not endorsed by Onyx Path. We are claiming no ownership over Onyx Path intellectual properties, game systems, art or stories, which remain the properties of the rights holders. All characters, names and locations used are either public domain or are entirely fictional and bear no intended resemblance to their real life counterparts. If you have any legal issues, please contact us directly.